This is Vogue with 73 questions.
Oh, hey!
Hey, we came to interview about AP seminar.
Okay. Okay, first question. What was the hardest part of AP seminar? All of the work we had to do and how to manage my time.
Okay, and how did you manage the projects?
I made sure to schedule everything correctly and make sure that I keep up on my assignments.
And what is one tip you have for incoming students?
Don't turn in anything late. And make sure you try your hardest because then you'll get a good grade.
What's one important thing that you learned?
How to speak publicly and make sure that I look up when I'm speaking.
And finally, did you prefer working with a group or alone?
I preferred working with a group because we could bounce each other's ideas off of each other and I got to make new friends.
Thank you, Ava!
Hey Liv, this is Ava with 73 questions with Vogue. Can I ask you some questions?
Yes, of course!
So what was the hardest part about AP seminar?
For me, the hardest part of AP seminar was not knowing what to expect going into the class because it was our first year doing it, but it ended up being really great and Mr. Moderman was definitely a lot of help.
That's so true. How did you manage the projects?
For me, it was all about time management and I really just planned ahead and made sure that I used my time in class wisely.
Okay, what's one tip for the incoming students?
The biggest tip that I have is always try your hardest, even if you feel like you're not really getting anywhere, because the hardest part is always getting started.
So freaking true. So what's one skill that you learned in AP seminar?
Probably the one skill that I would say that I really improved on with AP seminar was definitely my public speaking, because I was really nervous for the first presentation, but as we continued practicing and had more, I definitely improved.
Did you prefer working with a group or alone?
I really liked working by myself because I like only being responsible for what I had to do instead of relying on other people.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Paige! This is 73 questions with Vogue. Can we ask you some questions?
Of course. Thank you. What was the hardest part of AP seminar?
I definitely have to say managing all the projects because there was such short turnaround time for each one of them. So it really was just about managing the time.
And how did you manage the projects?
It was really just not getting behind because once people started getting behind, you stay behind.
And what was one tip that you would have about how to stay ahead and just keep up the good grades?
My tip would be not to get distracted by the people who are in your class. So if your friends are in it, make sure that you don't get distracted by them.
And what's one important thing that you learned?
I'd have to say speaking publicly. It's not something that a lot of other classes cover, so that's something unique to AP seminar.
And would you say that public speaking is the most important skill that you learned, or is there something
Yeah, I
else?
definitely have to say that public speaking is the most important that I learned.
And did you prefer working in a group or alone?
I preferred working by myself because with groups, it's hard to make sure that everybody's contributing equally. So when you're working by yourself, you know that the work that you want to get done is done and that it's done correctly.
Okay, that's enough. Bye!